course, Nvidia is one of the companies that has benefited the most from the rising effectiveness of artificial intelligence. But could Amazon rival that of Nvidia's success? Of course, Amazon's not going to have that kind of same success in graphic processing units that Nvidia has. But Amazon could benefit from AI in several different ways. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that in this video. Let's jump right into it.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So one of the things that Amazon is doing to capitalize on this AI wave is creating their own chips, right? They're not going to be as dominant as Nvidia, but they don't need to be, because these chips are not geared towards the leading edge or the cutting edge or the best of the best, right? These are more affordable options for companies that are looking for alternatives to Nvidia's chips, which are expensive and hard to obtain. So Amazon has announced a next generation of general CPU chips, which they call Graviton 4, which provide up to 30% better performance and 75% more memory bandwidth. So they also announced AWS Trainium 2 chips, which will deliver up to 4 times faster machine learning training for generative AI applications and 3 times more memory capacity than its Trainium 1 chips. So they've launched their own chips and they've improved on their own chips. The continued investment in their own chips is a signal to investors and customers that Amazon thinks this an area of strategic advantage. It'll continue to invest in this category. It'll continue to improve and continue to deliver more and more incremental improvements to customers. Now, of course, it's not going to be as good as Nvidia's chips. That's not what the point is here for Amazon. The point for Amazon here is to provide customers an different option compared to Nvidia. Nvidia's chips, remember, they're hard to obtain. Nvidia's management team has said they have more demand than they have supply. So there are customers out there that want Nvidia's chips that can't get their hands on them. And so they're looking at different choices. Amazon could be one of those choices to go with Amazon's chips instead. And this could be one way Amazon benefits from this category, by taking some market share from those lower tech savvy, lower tech area customers that are not necessarily looking at the best of the best, but they're looking at an option that they can go with that gives them what they're looking for at a lower price point at more available supply. Also, Amazon invented and delivered a new service called Amazon Bedrock that lets companies leverage existing foundation models to build generative AI applications, and they launched the most capable coding assistant around, Amazon Q. So here you see Amazon working in both directions. Number one, working on the hardware side with the CPU chips and the training chips. And then number two, working on the software side, working on the Amazon Bedrock and Amazon Q for developing generative AI applications and developing a coding assistant. In both of these ways, Amazon will benefit from the increasing spending in the AI category. Remember, AI spending totaled $200 billion in 2023, and that's expected to approach $2 trillion by 2030. So there's going to be a nearly 10x increase in spending in AI categories such as hardware and software over the next several years, and then it's probably going to grow even beyond that from 2030 to 2040. So Amazon is putting itself in a position to benefit from that trend and putting itself in a position to diversify its bets in this area. It's not only going with hardware in CPUs and GPUs, and it's not only going in software, it's going in both directions, having several offerings to fill the needs of its customers and its clients in AWS. So in this way, Amazon will and likely benefit from the rising effectiveness of AI, and maybe just as much as, or if not more than, Nvidia over the next several years. That remains to be seen. Now, it's going to be hard to match Nvidia's success. The absolute surge in revenue and profit and cash flow that Nvidia has initially experienced has been truly phenomenal and unprecedented. But That isn't to say that Amazon can't achieve similar success on the secondary wave of AI. The initial wave, clearly Nvidia and OpenAI, ChatGPT are the winners, but there's going to be more winners, and Amazon could be one of them. They've certainly put themselves in a position to become a winner. It remains to be seen how much that turns out to be profitable over the next few years. So Amazon is looking at AI with three distinct layers, and each of which they feel is gigantic, and each of which they're investing in. I mentioned they're diversifying their bets, and they're diversifying it in these three layers. So the bottom layer, according to Amazon, is for developers and companies wanting to build these foundation models. So virtually all the leading foundation models have been trained on Nvidia chips. I mentioned already, Nvidia has been undoubtedly one of the biggest winners in this space. And Amazon offers Nvidia chips, and they have the broadest collection of Nvidia instances of any provider. And by any provider, they mean hyperscalers like Microsoft Azure or the Google Cloud or other cloud offerings. Amazon has the most Nvidia instances of any provider, or the broadest Nvidia instances. Still, supply has been scarce and cost remains an issue. As a result, Amazon has built custom AI training chips, which we talked about already, and inference chips, so that customers that are looking for access to these types of chips and they can't get access to Nvidia, they can have access to Trainium or Inferentia, which may not be as good, but it could be adequate for a lot of customer needs. So, and one of those customers is Anthropic, which is a leading foundation model maker, announced it would use Trainium and Inferentia to build, train, and deploy its future foundation models. So here's one company that's found Amazon's chips to be adequate for its use case and more available and more lower priced, and it's choosing Amazon's chips instead of Nvidia. Maybe not instead of Nvidia, but as an option when they can't get access to Nvidia. And since they noticed it's not going to be easy to get Nvidia's chips anytime soon, in the next 3 months or 6 months, maybe they decided that this might be better overall for the company to go with the provider that has better access, that has better supply, and that it can secure access and supply to right now, instead of having to wait and be constrained in terms of the number of chips it can have. So Amazon putting itself in a position, in an excellent position, I would argue, to benefit from this AI trend here. The top layer Amazon sees is building a substantial number of generative AI applications. So Rufus is their new AI-powered shopping assistant, which is even more intelligent and capable, like Alexa, to advertising capabilities, making it simple with natural language prompts to generate, customize, and edit high-quality images, ad copy and videos, and to customer and seller service productivity apps. So that's the top layer for Amazon, is building these generative AI applications for its clients in the business to use these tools for helping listing items on Amazon.com. And they've already found it to be successful. And we've seen that in the AWS revenue, which grew double digits, and it's likely to grow much faster here in 2024, as Amazon's management also said that they've seen increases in customer contracts, increases in the length of contracts, as customers are now looking to secure these services longer term. Did you know that over 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed? It'll really help support my channel if you hit that subscribe button. And oh, by the way, one of the benefits of being subscribed is that I take requests from subscribers more often than I do from non-subscribers. So if you prefer that benefit, please subscribe to the channel.